Joe Rogan and Pereira speak on Islam Makhachev vs. Volkanovski. The UFC has been full of surprises lately, but Islam Makhachev vs. Alexander Volkanovski has to be the most insane matchup yet. And the crazy thing is, it's finally around the corner. People have been waiting to see this matchup for a long time, and the time is finally here. Joe Rogan recently had Alex Pereira on his podcast, and I must say, it is one of the best UFC fighter podcasts I've seen yet. They get into lots of great topics, but the most interesting one was definitely Alex Pereira's predictions for the Islam Makhachev vs. Alexander Volkanovski match. Pereira has a lot to say about this match, and his opinion about these guys is actually super interesting. I never thought I'd see this side of Alex Pereira, but I must say, it's very interesting to see. The Islam Makhachev vs. Alexander Volkanovski matchup has been long awaited, and it looks like the wait is going to be worth it. These top-leveled martial artists have been crushing it in their training camps and are preparing for battle. Everyone knows this match is going to be insane, and what's amazing about it is these guys are going to be competing for the pound-for-pound title of the UFC. That is huge, and the champion of the middleweight division, Alex Pereira, has a lot to say about it. Nobody thought, out of all people, Alex Pereira would have so much insight about this matchup. But it's true, and his podcast with Joe Rogan shows it. Alex Pereira and Joe Rogan recently had a sit-down on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and they get into many great topics. They talk a lot about Alex Pereira's origins and where he's from. They also talk a lot about his future and goals in the UFC. It's honestly all great, and I would watch it over again. But to me, the most interesting part about the podcast was when Alex Pereira started to talk about Islam Makhachev vs. Alexander Volkanovski. Pereira even said his predictions, and man, is it interesting to hear what he had to say. There's obviously so much to get into today with all that's going on in the UFC, but we'll mainly be taking a closer look at Alex Pereira's predictions for UFC 284. Be sure to stick around and watch this video until the end as we get into things one detail at a time. Trust me when I say you won't want to miss a thing. Thanks for stopping by today and visiting us at Warrior Report. We post daily UFC updates and news that you really should know about if you're a fan. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this, leave a like, and comment keyword UFC 284 to enter a chance at winning our brand new iPhone giveaway. One lucky viewer is picked at the end of each month. Now, let's jump into this video and take a closer look at Joe Rogan and Alex Pereira predict Makhachev vs. Volkanovski. This match has been hyped up so hard, and it's all for a reason. On February 11th, these savages are going to be battling it out in the octagon for the pound-for-pound title, and that's a big deal. Islam Makhachev has been waiting for this moment his whole life, and it's finally arrived. On the other hand, Volkanovski has had to defend his pound-for-pound title time and time again, so this is nothing new to him. These guys are ready to brawl it out on February 11th. UFC 284 will most definitely be full of surprises. What's surprising to me is that Alex Pereira actually dove deep into the topic of Volkanovski vs. Makhachev, and his opinions are insane. So right off the bat, it's obvious that Pereira is a fan of Islam Makhachev and favors him to win. But it makes me wonder if that has anything to do with Volkanovski training with Pereira's rival, Israel Adesanya. As most of us know already, Izzy Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski are on the same side and have been seen training together. So I'm not sure if Alex Pereira's opinion about Alexander Volkanovski is biased, but it sure does look like it. Pereira goes deep into detail about why he thinks Islam Makhachev is going to win this match, and I must say that he does have some good points. But for some reason, I do feel like it's coming from a biased standpoint. All I know is UFC 284 is going to be out of this world, and both of these savages are looking to accomplish the same goal, but only one of them is allowed to. These guys have been training so hard for this match. Islam Makhachev based in Russia for his training camp, and Volkanovski based in Thailand. Both guys going to the extreme of things to win this match, but at the end of the night on February 11th, only one of them can walk away with that pound-for-pound champion title belt. And I cannot wait to see who it is. The UFC is at such an amazing place right now, and I can see the business is thriving. 2023 will be such an amazing year for the UFC, and it will be interesting to see all the unexpected surprises. That's what makes the UFC such an amazing sport, and it's truly a great business. The UFC is literally the fastest growing sport of all time and has managed to grow more and more each year that it's been in business. President Dana White said he has big plans for this year, and by the looks of it, I believe him.